Okay, hi everyone, this is Koinzell here. So there has been quite a lot of comments from you guys. I'm really happy that there's such a attention here. But basically, right, I like to share that the comments I've seen so far mainly are asking about various classes. So today I thought I'll do a guide on all of the classes that you guys have in Black Desert Mobile English, your server now. So for BDM English right now, what you have, right? These are the 6 classes. You guys actually have it very differently from us because previously we actually had Awakening class before Ascension. The order for you guys is different. You're actually getting Ascension class first before Awakening. So what happened previously was that when we got our Ascension, typically the Ascension class is always stronger than the Awakening class. But this has all been balanced. So I'll share right now in our endgame state how do these 6 classes fare right now. As new classes, as you guys get new classes, I'll do new videos to talk about those as well. So for the warrior and gladiator, the thing about warrior and gladiator is that it's the standard RPG staple class. But the problem with this class in BDM is that right now it's really not strong, especially the gladiator. The gladiator basically only has one use right now, which is to be the CC crowd control in node wars and siege wars, where they help go to the front, use their grab skill, the one that grabs you and slams you, and moon grabs you and slams you again. So it's just that grab skill that is useful. That grab skill is supposed to be used on the opponent's very high CP character, so that your other characters with range, right, such as the ranger, the huntress, the huntress or the archmage, to attack them, to focus fire on them, so you can bring down the high CP character. That's really all gladiator is good for. Other than that, it doesn't have anything fantastic. Its skills are just like some sword waves here and there. Basically, in our endgame state right now, I think there's only maybe only one or two gladiators. It's seriously that bad amongst those higher CP characters. So if you guys can, try to avoid this class. But the Awakening version of this class has actually recently received some buffs, which is the character that I have here. So I can just quickly show his skills. So the nice thing is that he's using a very huge giant sword, this berserker. So this giant sword itself, it does look like you are using Cloud, from FF7, but other than that, there's really nothing else to it. I guess the graphics aren't too bad, but it's really not that fantastic, except that recently there is this berserker mode that's added where you actually get a 100 attack buff instead of a 40 attack buff. This is like the level 70 skill equivalent. So for this berserk mode itself, right, the only nice thing is that it gets this 100 attack buff. That's about it. To help balance, for this character to be to catch up. But other than that, it's really not good. I have seen many original many people whose original class were berserker or gladiator, and they have all switched to other classes because it just can't match up in the current landscape. Maybe with this berserk buff, it might be able to be at best average or mediocre, but that's about it. Okay, I can do a quick show of how he looks like in terms of farming. PvP wise, he's not very fantastic either. Nothing to shout out about. Can just get there to the combat. In general, right, if you guys are playing the warrior right now, I would actually suggest that you switch character, because it's really not that great in terms of endgame. Okay, so his attack right now is 17169, only slightly lesser than Shadow that I showed previously. But you can see from his attack, right, his skills, right. I'm at the same map, by the way. his attacks, they just aren't that high damage. Yeah. Minimally 2 skills, and that 2 skills is the damage is really not that high. And AoE wise, I guess it's alright, but personally I don't favor this class, and I would suggest you guys to drop it as well if you are using it already. There are other classes that are stronger, but this class isn't that bad. It's just that it's nothing fantastic about it. The really bad class, I'll talk about it later. But I have to say, Warrior is definitely on the lower spectrum, lower half of the whole list of classes that we have right now. Okay, so that's all for this character. Okay, mistake. Okay, actually this is the Berserker, the Awakening class of Titan. Okay, so the next class in the list is Ranger / Huntress. So yesterday I think I already did the Sunwar mode featuring Ranger and Huntress. So I think I already showcased the usefulness of Huntress in Sunwar mode, especially for high CP characters. So other than what I showcased yesterday, Huntress is also really good in Node War and Siege Wars if you have a whole bunch of Huntress and Rangers behind shooting while you have some other mini classes at the front attracting the attention of your opponents, your opposing guilds. Because what happened is that all these Rangers and Hunters, they are just doing up a lot of free damage unless you dash all the way to the back to attack them. But when you dash all the way to the back to attack them, those characters who dashed to the back, right? If your mini class is smart enough, they should turn and focus fire together on that particular group of people that dash all the way to the huntresses. So this means that the guy just gets focus fire and he can't last long. That's how Node War and Siege Wars should be played. So that is the beauty of Huntress right there. But I think for you guys who play Ranger and Huntresses, you should know what is the problem with this class. The mobility is really bad, which is fair because after all it's a ranged character, so it shouldn't have good mobility in that sense. In terms of the dash, their dash is like super short distance, shorter than Shadow for sure. So, but given though its usefulness in both Node War and Siege Wars, as well as the Sun War mode, right? This is actually a good class to keep playing as a main class, all the way until you get the newer classes. So if you're still on Ranger or Huntress right now, no worries, keep playing. I think you are in a good spot. Okay, I'm not going to log into my Ranger and Huntress since I already showcased my Ranger and Huntress in the Sunwar mode yesterday. So, and Ranger and Huntress is very straightforward really. When you play Sunwar mode, when you play the Node War / Siege Wars, right, just take away the skills that do not give you any super armor, and you'll be fine. Because you are a DPS class anyway, you want to be able to keep attacking, that's all. And you are supposed to be in the back to avoid any more damage. Yeah. Okay, so which / up mage. Okay, so this happens to be the class that I have right now. So I'll do a switch to her. So the thing about which / up mage, right? Their skills have great AoE. You guys playing this class now should know. This AoE really gives you good farming speed. But the problem with Witch on the whole is that the skills are really slow. Especially that Meteor skill that she has. By the time the Meteor drops down in Path of Glory where I use her, most of the time the boss or the specific mob is already dead. So it's like, yeah, you have a hit shield AoE, but it's useless if you hit nothing. Okay. But Witch is still useful. If you're playing Witch right now, she's not completely useless. It's just that she's not a good main character, but she's good in Path of Glory, because in Path of Glory you need at least 2 ranged characters, and this game the 2 ranged characters will be Witch and Huntress. Yeah. So if you see here, The her skills actually in our version right now, right, which has already been buffed. Previously they are even slower. So you see now her skills aren't too bad. Yeah. Especially fireball. Fireball would be her best skill. That skill when she hurls a few fireballs in there. Yeah. Damage wise, it's okay I guess. The problem, like I said just now, her meteor is cast time is too long. And she has this skill that looks good, but it's absolutely trash. Don't even use it. Very limited AoE. The shards pierce through is also very limited. And DPS is way too low for the amount of channeling time that it has. So if you are playing Witch or Archmage, remember not to use this skill. Generally speaking, the skills I use are these. This skill is also useless. The AoE is the damage and the AoE is just abysmal, honestly speaking. Abysmal, not abyssal, abysmal. This high damage, big AoE, slow cast time. This is fine actually. This is really good. Look at the damage that it has. 877. It's really high. But yeah, that's about it. So for me personally, Archmage is just a class where I use her to do a Path of Glory. That's about it. Oh, sorry, can't see my mouse right now. I don't know why it's flashing crazy. Okay, so honestly, for Witch, that's about it. I don't think personally, I suggest not to main her right now. You can still have her use her up to level 70, just so that you can have her in Path of Glory as a ranged character. That's my recommendation anyway. In terms of PvP, if you guys play her right now, right, you should know what is your PvP limitation. Most of the time, you're dead if you get chained by combos. You can't really do much in PvP. She's fairly decent in PvE, but like I said, that meteor is too slow. But her other skills right now, if you see that short demo just now, she's actually much faster than before. Personally, I'm not a fan of Witch/Archmage. Yeah. I'll do a quick summary later of what I think about all the classes. So the next one would be Giant. So Giant is a really ugly character, but it's actually fairly decent. For Titan itself, right? Titan is like I would say that Titan is a stronger version of Gladiator, in the sense that Titan has better skills per se compared to the Gladiator in terms of AoE, and their grab skill also actually lasts longer as well. I mean, it helps that it looks really forceful and violent as well. Okay, so my Titan is here. Okay, I hope my mouse don't disappear like just now. Okay. So this is my Titan. Okay. So since you guys have Titan now, I'm not going to go too much into his skills right now. I do really like his whirlwind skill here. It's really nice, and I think it do good work in Path of Glory as well. Okay, where's that grab skill? Yeah. Okay, this is the grab skill I was talking about. This skill is better than the Gladiator's one. Because, yeah, see how long it casts. I mean, the Gladiator's cast skill is quite long as well. But at least Titan is still useful in other areas in terms of PvE. But honestly speaking, Titan cannot compare to its Awakening class. Its Awakening class is strong and high damage, and yet it still has range as well. So that's why it's so good. So for me, right, when I first started playing Warrior, the Titan class was available. The Titan class was available back then, so I actually have no, sorry, record wrongly. I actually played Berserker before Titan. When Titan was released, they gave us a free scroll to change to Titan. So I did that. So I think if I'm not wrong, I'm still able to change back to Berserker, so that when you guys get Berserker, I can do a video on that as well. Yeah, I can still purchase this, because the limit for silver, the one that costs 100 million silver, is only once per character, which means that once you use up that chance, right, the next time you want to change between awakening and ascension, right, you have to spend 6k plus. So I'm definitely not going to spend that for my alternate characters that are in my family. Yeah. So all in all, right, for Titan itself, right, although the character is ugly, but it's like a stronger version of Gladiator, and on top of that, its awakening class is also stronger than the Gladiator. In fact, one of the Korean broadcasters, right, one of the highest CP character, he's actually still using his Berserker, and I see him in Siege War is really, really effective. So if you guys are using Giant, the good news is that Berserker is really strong. Sorry, not Berserker, Destroyer, my bad. Destroyer, yeah. Sorry, I may not remember all the English names since I'm not playing the English version. So Giant, right, is really good for in terms of future proof lah. Future proof wise, but Destroyer is still quite valuable, this class. Okay, so far I've gone through 4. Given my comments, so you know that basically I don't think this is a good class. The rest, my second will be this. But now I need to second last would be this. But I need to go to the Valkyrie / Paladin class, which in my opinion is like the absolute worst. It's the most terrible class in this game right now. Her skills are so chunky and clunky. Sorry, her skills are very clunky. Her DPS is terrible, both in PvE and PvP. The only thing she can do is like what I said, just that slam move. That's about it. And even her awakening is weak. Her awakening is just too slow. You can't do much. My recommendation is to avoid this class at all cost. If you are playing her now, please make the move when you get Shadow, or even to Sorceress, or any other class other than Gladiator, honestly speaking. Valkyrie just doesn't meet the cut, man. Yeah, I can show you my Valkyrie. It's a class that I have completely ignored, honestly speaking, because after playing her, in the process of leveling her from 1 to 70, I was absolutely disgusted by the class. I'm sorry if this causes hate from you Valkyrie lovers, but this is really a terrible class. Literally no one plays it right now. I can tell you in our endgame state right now, almost no one plays it. Maybe 1 or 2 characters, and those 1 or 2 characters are always complaining about how weak Valkyrie is. My Valkyrie right now is my fisher. She's basically my fishman right now. Every time we have a maintenance, I just switch to her. I do Black Spirit mode fishing, and that's the only use for her. And I don't even bother with her costume. I just give her that costume that helps with the farming. But in the end, it doesn't even help for fishing actually. So she's useless, honestly speaking. Try not to use her. Avoid her at all costs. The only reason I have her here, right? The only reason I have her here is because I want to have one class per character slot. That's about it. That is about the only reason I have her here. So, and by the way, she has been buffed a lot, but she's still the worst. So honestly, try your best to avoid this character. Make the switch now if you can. She's not even useful in Path of Glory. So yeah, don't waste your time with her. Okay, on to the last class, which is I know for a fact, based on the comments that I have seen for the videos, right? Sorceress seems to be really popular with you guys. You guys seems to there's really a lot of comments asking me about Sorceress as well as its awakening. So my Sorceress is sad to say my Sorceress is not one of characters I have played much, and also not. I don't even send her to my Tower of Trials. Okay, so what happened for Sorceress, right? I think I better go in and show the combat since I'm already at this map. Okay, so look at Sorceress damage. Okay, to be fair, my CP is actually quite low for Sorceress. Unlike the other characters, it's 1k lower. So in a map where the mobs are in a higher CP, it's not accurate. So probably let me try to change map to be fair. Okay. Probably here, 16500. You see, she can't even take the she can't withstand the damage as well. Okay, so while the character is still moving, right? The thing about Sorceress, right, is that initially when we have her, it was the Awakening class. We didn't have the Ascension class Raven. What we have was the Reaper. So the problem with Reaper back then was that her skills were way too slow. And her chaining effect is literally not there because it's so slow. That was the main problem with Reaper. But Reaper skills are actually fairly decent in terms of damage and AoE. It was just the speed that was bad. I mean, the damage was little bit lacking back then. I'm talking about many patches ago. But the creators, right, the company behind the game, Pearl-based, the team behind the game, BDM, I think they acknowledged that Sorceress Reaper was having a lot of problems. So they have actually buffed Reaper to a stage where actually I would say that she's one of the top few classes right now, in fact. So that is the good news for you Sorceress players, is that the Awakening class of Sorceress Reaper is actually pretty good. Okay, so let me find a spot. But Raven, right? Raven is not that strong. Raven used to be stronger than Reaper because Reaper was weak. But now that Reaper was buffed, Raven peels in comparison. I think there's not much Reaper players right now, in fact. There's a lot more, there's a lot more Reaper players than Raven. There's actually quite small, very little Ravens. It's as good as the number is about the same as gladiators and Valkyries, basically. But for Reaper, right, a lot of people play Reaper because one thing about Reaper is that she has this skill that can be cast at a very far range. It's a very far range skill that you can use as a skill to kill people when you're chasing them in Black Sun mode. Even one of the top Korea broadcasters were also using Reaper as his main until Shy came out and he changed to Shy, and then after that I think you guys might call it Lotus. I'm not sure what's the name for Meiwa, the Awakening class name you guys will have for Meiwa. So that character, right, the one with the spear, that was also a fairly new character and she's also quite strong. And that broadcaster then changed to that character. But for quite the longest time, right, he was actually using Reaper. And in my guild, right, there's also quite a number of Reapers as well. Because they actually did some testing and they realized that Reaper, after all the buff, right, is actually really strong. So if you guys are playing Sorceress right now, the good news is that don't worry, keep playing, and when you get your Sorceress Awakening, you'll be much stronger. Provided that when they release Reaper, right, they give you guys the same kind of patch that we have in terms of the skills changes. So and owing to the fact that Sorceress is Reaper is so popular with you guys, even though I have already used up that 100 million scroll, because back then when they introduced Raven, it was 3 accession classes together, and the event only gave one class change ticket. So my Raven didn't get that class change ticket, so I already used 100 million. So the good thing is my Raven is only level 71. So what I'll do for you guys, right, is in a separate video, I will start a character from level 1. I'll delete this character. I'll start a character from level 1, Sorceress, and do up the Reaper so I can show you guys Reaper's skills. And also because Reaper is strong, right? So there's no harm for me to go for Reaper. And it's a good opportunity for me to show you guys how quick it is for us to level from 1 to 70 right now in the endgame. Yeah. So this actually ends my okay, we are coming to the end of my class guide video. So hang on, just get back town first. Okay, so right now, based on what I have shared right now, sorry, repeating myself, it's been I've been talking quite a lot. So my personal worst character, without a doubt, Valkyrie and Paladin. With out of these six, this is the worst. This is the second worst, and this is the third worst. Maybe let me do it the other way around. Number one for me right now out of these six, right? The one number one in terms of future proof is Sorceress, Huntress, Titan. So for Huntress, right? Huntress is the only class you need to change to your Awakening. The Huntress is actually much stronger than its Awakening Wing. I think it might be called Wing Walker. So this Ascension is strong. The Awakening of a Giant is strong. The Awakening for Sorceress is strong. So 1, 2, 3. Fourth will be Witch slash Archmage. Fifth would be Gladiator, and sixth is Valkyrie slash Paladin. For Shadow is actually really good when you guys get it. But when you do get the Awakening class for Sorceress and even Giant, those two classes may do slightly better. Okay, sorry. For Giant, right, the Awakening class, which is Destroyer, will do slightly better than Shadow, but the Sorceress will do much better than Shadow. So if you guys are looking to change and you're afraid of doing main class change in future, you can try to go with the so-called full future proof classes. But not to worry, right? Because when the game does introduce its class change items, it will actually give you one for free. So you have like a one free chance to do that class change. So I will still recommend you guys to try out Shadow when it's released next week. Your next patch will be next Tuesday. Yeah. So the rating I have given already. So number one, then number two, number three, 4, 5, 6. So personal recommendation, if you are playing Valkyrie or Warrior right now, please change. You stand to benefit if you change. For Witch, it's not so bad because a level 70 Witch is still not a waste because it's still useful in Path of Glory. It's quite sad that it's like that, but yeah. So personal recommendation, play Shadow when it's out, or if you're already on Sorceress or Giant right now, good news to you. Yeah, that's about it. And Ranger Huntress, always useful to have one. Be it Path of Glory or some war mode like how I showed yesterday where I just moved my main character's gear to Ranger. I just need to make sure that my Huntress has a decent longbow and dagger because that's the only weapon that I can't move. The equipment that I can't move, both the weapon and sub weapon. So this is my opinion of the current state of the classes in the endgame right now. So at high level, this is what I have for you. If you have any other specific questions, let me know in case I didn't manage to address any of your questions. Yep. So thanks everyone. Thanks for watching this video. I'm sorry it's twice the length of previous videos because there's quite a lot of content to cover. So as usual, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. Bye.